Hi, I'm Wendy, and today's tip is all about how to use humour effectively in the workplace. Now, this could be quite a loaded tip, but let's see how we go. And let's see if we can find some ways to appropriately and effectively, if we can, use humour in the workplace. So, why is it good if you can use humour? Obviously, it helps to build connections, it helps to build rapport with other people, creates hopefully a positive atmosphere and a friendly, fun atmosphere. However, it is important to approach humour with sensitivity and professionalism. We're not in a bar, we are in the workplace, so we do need to always keep that in mind. So I'm going to give you a few tips on how to use it effectively. I think the first one, and it should go without saying, that you should know your audience. So you will know if you're working with people for a while, perhaps what humour will work best with some groups of people or some individuals, and what will really not work well at all. So understand also the culture and dynamics of your workplace as well. Different workplaces have different varying levels of formality and tolerance for humour or certain types of humour. So consider your colleagues' personalities, their positions, their roles, and their preferences for certain types of humour. The second tip is to obviously, keep it pretty upbeat and positive and not overly offensive. So stick to humour that is light-hearted, positive, and free from potentially offensive or controversial topics. This is things are changing in our workplaces. What was considered fine, perhaps, 10, 20 years ago, might not necessarily be considered okay today. So I think you need to be a little careful in the workplace for any jokes that could be interpreted as discriminatory or overly political or very hurtful to others. So the goal behind it all is not to hurt others, but it's to create a positive and a comfortable and inclusive environment. The third tip, and I think this is probably a safe way to go, use self-deprecating humour. So it's when you turn the joke a little bit in on yourself rather than on other people. Making light of your little quirks or your faults or, a mistake you might have made. It helps you connect a little bit more. It shows that you're a little bit, more relatable, that you can not take yourself so seriously, and shows some humility as well too. Obviously, I will make a point about this. You do need to make sure that you don't go too, hard on yourself as well, because if you tip it too much to one side, then it will come across as you being quite insecure. So you need to sort of strike that good balance. The next thing, as all professional humorists and comedians will tell you, that timing is everything. So obviously, humour needs to be used at appropriate moments. There will be moments where it is completely inappropriate and not suitable at all. So you need to, show a little bit of, awareness and think about that. You think about how you use it in meetings and presentations and who you're with. You might want to avoid using humour when the situation is very grave, when it is very serious, and that level of light-heartedness is just simply not appropriate at that time. The next thing, obviously, is to understand cultural differences. So, I think you've probably worked out by now that not everybody will share your humour. Not all cultures are different. What is funny in one culture is not necessarily funny at all in another culture. So there needs to be a little bit of sensitivity, a bit of intelligence here when we're thinking about it. So think a little bit about some of those stereotypes when you're with people in culturally diverse environments. Balancing humour with professionalism. So it is a balancing act. You're not necessarily there employed at work to be the clown, the class clown, or, to your role is to entertain. I think not. I think your role is to actually do your job first. And then if you can, be humorous as well. That's an added bonus. So it is an extra thing that you can do to enhance communication rather than detract from it. Obviously, overusing it and playing the fool and the goat all the time can have some repercussions and some implications for your reputation and your sense of professionalism. Practice active listening, paying attention to your colleagues, looking at their body language. If you're sensing that this is not going down well, it's going over like a flat balloon, then it might be the time to sort of stop the jokes and start, or turn it around and sort of move on to something else. Avoid sarcasm and also those kind of inside jokes that exclude other people, that only certain people get. That's not going to sort of win you any friends and make for an inclusive environment. If you're deciding to use humour in a presentation, which I think is a good thing, I think it can liven things up, do practice beforehand. Preparation is key, and practice so that you are confident about your delivery and what you're going to say. And my final tip is to err on the side of caution. So if you are not sure about a particular joke, if you think it could cause some offence, it could be a little bit under the belt, then it's best to err on the side of caution and choose a safer approach until you get to know the people and the culture and the environment better. So good luck with that. Be careful, but I think there is room for humour, but we've got to be a little bit sort of wise about it. Thank you.